Your profession is an interesting moment in history, with sort of all of the different assaults on the free press that have been going on. How are you sort of processing the fact that all of a sudden the free press is in question in the United States of America?
Yeah, I mean nobody likes to have their job maligned. I mean let's face it. I've always believed, and I think most people believe that a free independent press is a vital part of a democracy. We're there to shine the light in the dark places and to hold those in power accountable. So it's certainly not helpful when we're criticized from high places. I will say this though, that the American public is as engaged as I've ever seen them in the political process, in democracy in general. On a weekly basis, I get stopped. It happened yesterday at the airport. People stopping me and saying thank you for what you do. Thank you for journalism. Thanks for asking hard questions. And I had to say, that's like, I've been doing this for over 30 years. That never happened. I mean, I always thought we did, what we did was important, but it shows you that people now are understanding that you've got to have, these folks who can call out, those in power and drill down on these things. So I take it. I take the view, actually, this is a really good time to be a journalist because people are paying attention. They're listening, they're watching, they're reading, and it makes us raise our game, especially when you're taking a lot of shots. We take great pride in getting it right every night. And I was telling the group over here a minute ago, that all this fake news stuff. My take on that is, there's such a thing as sloppy news. Reporters don't get it right. Reporters who make mistakes, who don't check their sources. That's real. Then there's fabricated news, which is making out of thin air, creating a story. And perhaps we saw some of that during the Russian attacks. But I think we have to understand that there's still journalists, mainstream journalists, who work every day to get it right and to really hold up the standards, and we should applaud that, and I think people are beginning to applaud it.
Do you get a little concerned, sorry, just for a quick follow-up, do you get a little concerned that when something that you do gets labeled as fake news, that it's going to create a little bit of an erosion with a certain portion of the population of belief in the good work that you guys are trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it's no fun to be called out, but it is gratifying to be called out and then know that you can lay it on the table. Well, here's the deal. Because you don't like a story does not make it fake news. You can call it whatever you want. I always remind people that news isn't supposed to just by definition make you happy. I mean, I'll do a story that may totally differ with your worldview about something, but here are the facts. You might want to throw your shoe at the TV. That's the reality of what we do. So we need to get past this idea that we're supposed to, you're supposed to turn on the TV and I'm supposed to confirm everything you believe about the world. That's not what we do. So it makes for interesting times.
It certainly feels like right now news is breaking at a pace that it wasn't, say, 3 years ago. How does that change your process of actually getting the show on the air? Do you have a different process?
Well, I joke sometimes that we should all come to work at 4 in the afternoon because by the time we start in the morning, the day changes. We used to talk about a 24-hour news cycle. I argue it's down to about a 2-hour news cycle now. That things move very, very quickly. And that has to do with how we consume news as well. I mean, we're like, okay, give me the headlines, let's move on. There's no question. I mean, this government, this administration has moved in ways that we've never seen. The president has in many ways defied gravity on a lot of issues. And so, every day it's something new. That's what we specialize in, things that are new and different, and it keeps us hopping.